Well, good evening. I am WBAY First Alert meteorologist David Ernst here with your weather update. We are going to be into First Alert Weather Day as we get into your Saturday morning. All is quiet, at least as of this live update. There's not much happening in northeastern Wisconsin right now, but late tonight through Saturday morning, there is the potential for some slushy wet snow accumulation across the North Woods, and we also have the possibility of just a few flakes flying, something like that around the Fox Cities. Wouldn't expect much in the way of an accumulation threat around the Fox Valley, so that's why we're going with moderate on your severe weather outlook in the North Woods, but areas south and east likely not going to see anything too wintry other than just maybe a few sleet pellets or snowflakes, mostly a rain event. And I would honestly say that's really the case from Shawano south and east that you would encounter more in the way of rainfall, and then north and west you get that wintry mix. Bruce, good to see you on here, and Taylor as well. Thanks for commenting. Yeah, hopefully we can get ourselves into some more consistent spring-like weather. I've got my Facebook page there at the top, David Ernst, WBAY meteorologist. If you haven't already done so, please head over there and throw it a like. I would appreciate it. I'll post graphics that you don't see necessarily every day on the air, and it'll give you a chance. You can ask me questions and interact there. I've also got the QR code right beneath my camera image here for our free WBAY First Alert Weather app, and you can scan that for free updates. You'll get video updates right from the weather staff here at WBAY, the First Alert Weather Team, as well as customized forecasts for your location, warnings, things like that, radar. So it's a great tool to have. But let's go ahead and get into the forecast here. Rob, as far as things go for Tigerton, it's possible you do see a little bit of ice out that way. I would expect it to be more minimal compared to areas farther north of you. I would say our bullseye from an icing standpoint is probably more so north and west of Anago, but a few hundredths of an inch up to a tenth or so out there in western Shawano County is certainly possible, and could see an inch or so of slush, sleet, snow kind of mixed together. So you're kind of right on the borderline there in western parts of the county. So we'll go ahead and get things going here. Let me click into some graphics. I suppose best place to start is kind of just current conditions. Where are we right now? I get slid over to the right spot. We're looking right now, First Alert Viper Max there, nice and quiet. Temperature-wise, across the state of Wisconsin, readings are generally mild out west. We're still holding on to some 50s there down towards La Crosse, but we're holding in the middle and upper 30s around the Fox Valley and in northern Wisconsin. And with time tonight, we will see those temperatures fall anywhere between about 29 and 32 for a low. Winter weather advisory is in effect right now from northeastern Minnesota through northern Wisconsin, and that does include Shawano, Langlade, Menominee, northern Oconto, northern Marinette, Forest, and Florence counties in our area. So you're looking at the possibility for a 1 to 3 inch snowfall up that way. The higher end of that is likely closer to the border with upper Michigan. Lower end, the farther south you go, so Wausau, Shawano, that Highway 29 corridor, you're probably more in line to see an inch of snow and slush as opposed to the higher end of that, the 3 inches. And again, there could be up to 2/10 of an inch of ice, but I would say that the highest threat of that is more likely north and west of Anago. You're on the lower end, a few hundredths to a tenth for places like Shawano and into Menominee, Oconto, Marinette counties. So let's go ahead and show you where the system is right now, and then we will get into your forecast with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. We do have a few little showers down into southern Wisconsin. We'll see some of that kind of graze the southern Fox Cities or down towards Fond du Lac and Sheboygan here over the next few hours, and then there's a band of light snow still in Minnesota, but pushing into Wisconsin, and that's what we're going to see impact our local areas as we get on into the nighttime hours. So let's go ahead and load up First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Let me we'll just scrub through time here. So 9 o'clock, it's not too far off from what we're seeing. Maybe it's a little farther north with that activity than where it actually is, so perhaps an hour or two ahead of schedule. But as we get closer to midnight, that's when you begin to see some of those rain showers spreading on into places like Oshkosh and Fond du Lac, Well, Parks, thanks for the compliment on the tie. I appreciate it. I do my best. Yeah, Michelle, sorry that today was a great day and unfortunately not continuing in this fashion overnight and into Easter weekend. It should be cloudy but dry on Easter Sunday, but tomorrow morning that will not be the case. You may start the morning dry in some areas. Here we are 6 o'clock with some rain showers down towards Appleton, Fond du Lac, and Lakeside, and you see that snow and mix there to the west of Waupaca. But still, we haven't seen too much move in. And in fact, actually, let me go ahead and I'm going to click into this graphic real quick. I did something, if you were watching us today at 4:30, just showing a few extra things on this graphic than what would typically be there. Let's go ahead then and get back in. Okay, so what I did is you're going to see two new lines on here. The blue line is the surface temperature at 32 degrees, and then there's an orange line in there that is the temperature about a mile up. Now, you would typically expect to see the blue line farther north of the orange line, and that would indicate that what you would normally expect as you go up, temperatures get colder. So if it's 32 degrees at the ground, it's well below freezing aloft, and that would be why you see the warm color line farther south. But that's not going to be the case as we go through the night. So here we are. Now, there may not be anything falling, but you notice at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you see that orange line up towards northern parts of Marinette County and across Forest and Florence counties. That would indicate that temperatures are above freezing anywhere to the south of that orange line, which would be pretty much the entire area. But if you're north of the blue line, it means temperatures are below freezing at the ground. So anything that falls in the area between those two lines, if the orange line is farther north, is going to come down as a liquid and then hit the ground. And it will freeze, put a glaze of ice on just about anything. And so it's around that time that you do see some precipitation start to move into areas west of Rhinelander. And so there could be, again, the potential there for some icing. Now, as we get deeper into Saturday morning, you're going to continue to see those lines close together. So again, right here around Anago, up towards Rhinelander, Wausau, western Shawano County, you're all in that danger zone where your surface temperature is likely to be below 32 degrees, but the air well above your head a mile or so up is going to be above 32, and so any snow that falls through that melts and then hits the ground, that sub-freezing ground, and that's what puts that glaze of ice on untreated surfaces. And we likely stay in this until we get closer to 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you'll notice the orange line starts receding farther south. So when that happens, when you're below 32, everything just stays as snow, and so you'd see any wintry mix transition over to snowfall. So what I would say is between the hours of about 3 and 8 o'clock in the morning is our prime time window of seeing some icing. Once we get beyond 7, 8, 9 o'clock, it's likely that that warm air is far enough south that you don't have any melting aloft taking place, and so it starts as snow in the clouds and finishes as snow on the ground. And so that's when you're going to start adding up the 1, 2, 3 inches of snowfall would be after you see perhaps a light glaze of ice. And as we continue to go through Saturday morning, again, you'll notice that we are looking at sub-freezing temperatures in the North Woods, and you see that orange line there down towards Oshkosh, Manitowoc. So that's where the warmer areas aloft, if you will, is pushing south. So as we get deeper into later into Saturday morning and towards the early afternoon, even though what's reaching the ground probably is snow, it's melting relatively on contact as we would anticipate surface temperatures rising into the 30s. So let's go ahead and take a look at snowfall totals. Let me click into my map over here if I can find the one I custom made. There we go. Snow totals. So this is going to be just some totals that I plopped on the map, just kind of a range of what to expect. And you'll notice essentially anybody that's south of Green Bay, nothing at all. Maybe we get a trace Green Bay up towards Sturgeon Bay. Between Highway 29, so Shawano and Wausau, between there and Highway 64, Anago to Marinette, that's your 0 to 1 inch, so a dusting of fresh snow up to an inch. But as you start getting closer to that Highway 8 corridor, so northern Marinette County, over towards Rhinelander, that's where you might see some of that higher end 1 to 3 inch type stuff, the 2, 3 inch totals there. Some of that may be sleet initially before an eventual change over to all snow over the course of Saturday morning. But then as we warm our way up, we are likely to see things get warm enough that all snow would be melting on contact if it's still falling as snow, or we start to melt away anything that is on the ground. There could still be some slush lingering into the afternoon because it is going to be a cloudy day, but we are very likely to see temperatures get warm enough that we shouldn't see too many travel issues ongoing. So here are your afternoon highs tomorrow. Normal high would be 46. Most of us don't make it quite that warm. Perhaps some to the west, southwest of the Fox Valley do get into the middle 40s, but we're looking at lower half of the 40s for most of us. But still, it's mild enough. Obviously, 32 is your freezing mark, so we are going to be above that. Let's go ahead then and take a quick look at the forecast getting into your Easter Sunday. Now this is my split screen approach. I've got two different weather models here, the American GFS on the right, European weather model on the left. They're very easily found global models, meaning they model the entire Earth, not just North America or something like that, and they go out to a longer range than most computer guidance will. So that's why I like to show them and compare the two of them, especially if we're looking at something that's going to happen 3, 4, 5 days from now. And just to give you a sense of kind of where if there's any consensus to be had at all, where it is. And you'll notice that as we go through Easter Sunday, both of them show just a little bit of light precipitation across southern Wisconsin, but for the most part, anything steady is going to stay across Illinois. So it should be dry but cloudy on Easter Sunday. Getting into Monday, GFS actually puts a little bit of sunshine in the area. I'm not too sold on it being as sunny as what the GFS shows. Probably somewhere between that and the Euro. I would call it mostly cloudy, but there still could be some sunny breaks. Now, this storm system has kind of shifted around the last couple of days, and we're seeing a shift back to the south. So basically, the trend was on, really, first half of this week. It looked like we were going to get hit with some rain and snow. And then on Wednesday, we saw everything start shifting to the south. And then on Thursday, everything got pulled back to the north. And here we are on Friday, and everything is starting to shift back to the south. So the bottom line is we're on the northern periphery of a storm system, and there's still some uncertainty regarding the eventual track of it. But you'll note that the Euro has almost missed the area completely with any precipitation. The GFS does have some rain on Monday for southern areas, and then keep some snow in the area, especially Fox cities south and east into Tuesday, whereas the European kind of bypasses us with all of that activity. So I have adjusted the precip chances down for the Monday, Tuesday time frame, but certainly have not removed precip altogether. The GFS certainly could be more on the right track. So we'll see how things go this weekend, but you'll want to check back for updates if you have some travel plans early next week, as we will at the very least see that storm system in the region, and it is possible that it will impact the area. So to recap for tonight, we do have our first alert weather day starting up. We will look for the potential for some rain and snow and ice all to be spreading into the region. It's going to be our northern areas that see the best chance of that 1 to 3 inches of snowfall and around 2/10 of an inch, or maybe just a 1/10 of an inch of ice. For the Fox cities and southward, this is mostly going to be a rain event. So we would look for everything to move in here over the next few hours tonight and then wrap up over the course of Saturday morning. So we will all see some sort of precipitation. Essentially, anybody that is south or east of Shawano is looking at mostly rainfall, perhaps just a few sleet pellets or wet snowflakes. If you are north and west of Shawano, then you've got the potential of seeing that ice and snowfall. Your most likely window of seeing any ice accumulation would be from about 3 o'clock this morning through 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. After that, anything that's going to be falling is more than likely in the form of either snow across northern areas or still rain for areas to the south. So it really just kind of depends on where you are as to what you're going to get with this. It's not going to be a major storm system, but it is going to be something that could slow travel down if you're going to be doing any Easter holiday traveling. You will want to pay attention to the travel forecast. Check out either our 24/7 channel. We have the road conditions that update they cycle through at least once every 15 minutes or so, once every half hour, and they update on our end here I have the timer going every 10 minutes. You can go to the 511 DOT website in Wisconsin to get that information real time. If you're going to be traveling anywhere on Saturday morning up north, I would certainly encourage that because, again, that's where we're looking at the greatest potential for slippery roads. So to wrap up, again, I am David Ernst, WBAY meteorologist. You can find me on Facebook, and please follow my page. And if you have any questions, you can ask them there. And if you don't already have our weather app downloaded, QR code is there on your screen as well. That will take you to a splash page for our free WBAY First Alert weather app. You get lots of useful information and tools in there, including live updates like this one. We can stream those to the app. I don't have this one going to the app, but when we get into severe weather, we will certainly do stuff like that. And then we put 5-6 video updates on there per day, and those come straight from the meteorologists here in the First Alert Weather Center. So with that, I hope you've had a Good Friday. Have a happy Easter. Be safe if you have any travel plans, and I will be here, on Action 2 News coming up in about 40 minutes, but I've also got some fill-in duty on Saturday, so I will see you on air both places, and of course I'll have some updates on the weather app coming in tomorrow as I'll be in on Saturday afternoon. Because of some vacation and things like that, you'll actually have meteorologist Keith Gibson on tomorrow morning as opposed to Bo. So he'll have your updates with anything that's happening weather-wise, that snow coming through, what's going on in terms of icing. He'll have those updates for you starting on in the morning. I'll go ahead and leave you with the 7-day forecast, and I hope you have a great night and a happy Easter.